everyone. Today we are diving into a topic that most people wrestle with, leasing versus buying. Whether it's a car, equipment, or a house, the choice isn't always an obvious one. But by the end of this video, you'll know whether to decide if you're doing leasing versus buying, what to expect, and how to decide. So let's jump right in. Here are some key differences. When leasing a vehicle, you're paying for the usage. And when buying a vehicle, you generally own it or when the loan is paid off. Monthly payments / upfront costs. On leasing, you generally have lower monthly payments and lower upfront costs. And when it comes to buying, you have higher monthly payments and sometimes higher down payments. Depreciation / value. During a lease, you don't bear much of a risk when it comes to depreciation because you're actually paying for the depreciation during the term of the lease. Now, when it comes to buying, you do bear so much of a depreciation, especially during the first 2 years, but at the end, with your trade-in resale value and when you sell the vehicle, you do have some sort of a benefit there, especially when there's positive equity. Flexibility and restrictions. During a lease, you do have some restrictions, like some mileage caps, and you also don't have the option to customize the vehicle. But when it comes to buying, you can customize the vehicle however you would like, but you do also have to take on maintenance cost for a long term. When the term ends during a lease, you either have an option to turn it in, trade it in, or purchase it. And then when it comes to buying, after the loan's paid off, it's yours. Okay, you guys, now how do we decide what's best for you? Well, how long do you want to use the vehicle for? And what is your usage like? I mean, your commutes, miles, wear and tear, condition, these are all things that you need to think about before you lease and buy a vehicle. Budget and cash flow. I mean, how much do you really want to spend? Can you afford the higher upfront costs? Or do you prefer lower monthly payments? Another thing to think about before you lease and buy a vehicle. Do you value flexibility or ownership? Do you want to keep something long-term to where you could fully customize and maybe sell later down the road? Or would you like something a little bit short-term? I mean, some things to think about is generally, on average, our electric vehicle drivers trade in their cars every 3 years because of the fact that technology is always constantly upgrading. These are definitely some things to think about. And the last thing to think about when to decide what's best for you is resale. And what do you plan to do after the term? After the long-term financing, do you plan to keep the vehicle or do you plan to sell it or do you plan to trade it? Now, with leasing, you have 3 options generally. Do you plan to trade it in, sell it, or do you just plan to return it and possibly go and pick out a different vehicle? These are some things that are very important to think about when it comes to deciding whether if you want to lease or buy a vehicle. Here's a summary of some of the pros and cons. Buying. Some of the pros are you fully own the vehicle, so there's no ongoing rental costs, and you have full freedom. But also at the same time, if you either sell or trade the vehicle, you could recoup some of that money. Some of the cons with buying is you do have higher monthly payments, higher upfront costs, depreciation risks, and then your maintenance and repair costs definitely come as time goes on. Now we're going to talk about the pros of leasing. You have lower monthly payments, lower upfront costs, the option to upgrade all the time and get a newer model with better technology, and you have to worry less about depreciation risks. Now, the cons of leasing is you don't build equity or ownership, and there's many restrictions. And lastly, it could be more expensive if you end up leasing long-term. So there isn't one size fits all. Leasing versus buying both have its trade-offs. So think through your lifestyle, your budget, and how long you plan to use it. If you do that, you'll be in a much clearer decision on how to decide what works best for you. Now, if you like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I love to hear what you're facing with leasing versus buying. Thanks for watching.